CoinTalk podcast viewers, get ready, because we are diving deep into some big news coming straight out of the Binance world.
Definitely big news.
Binance Labs, their venture capital arm, is getting like a complete total makeover.
A transformation?
Yeah, more than just like, a name change or a new logo.
Right.
It's a whole rebrand into something called YZi Labs.
And it's a pretty fundamental shift, too, moving away from that traditional venture capital structure towards more of a family office model.
A family office. So before we even get into what they're doing with it, let's break down what a family office, even IS, for our CoinTalk podcast viewers who maybe aren't familiar with that term.
For sure. So a family office is essentially a private company that's dedicated to managing the wealth and investments of, well, a family.
Okay, so not your typical, financial advisor.
No. Think high net worth individuals or families.
Got it.
With significant assets who need dedicated management, sophisticated investment strategies, that kind of thing.
So high level, high stakes.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're talking about serious capital and influence when it comes to Binance.
A lot of power behind it.
And it's being directed by CZ and Ella Zhang.
Two powerhouses.
Now, CZ, our CoinTalk podcast community, knows him, right? Founder of Binance.
Of course.
He's had a wild ride the last couple of years, and now he's kind of back at the helm, and everyone's like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, big headlines.
But what's really interesting to me, and maybe to our viewers too, is that he's got Ella Zhang with him.
A great addition.
She's the co-founder of Binance Labs.
Right.
But she's also got this incredible track record.
She does.
I mean, Polygon, Injective, Dune Analytics.
Huge successes.
All kind of under her watch.
Yeah, she's got a knack for spotting those winning projects.
She does. So having them both.
Powerful duo.
Yeah, leading YZi Labs, power move, right?
Absolutely. And what I find really fascinating is the potential synergy there.
Oh, tell me how.
Between their leadership styles, because you've got CZ, who's known for his bold, ambitious vision.
Definitely.
And then you have Ella Zhang, who brings that laser focus, identifying those promising projects within the crypto space.
Yeah.
So combining their expertise at the head of a family office could be a recipe for some really disruptive moves.
It could be. And here's where it gets even more interesting, I think, for our CoinTalk podcast viewers, is that YZi Labs is not just crypto anymore.
Right.
It's not just focused on that world.
They're branching out.
Yeah, much broader scope now. Artificial intelligence, Web3 technologies, and get this, even biotechnology.
It's a big expansion beyond just cryptocurrency.
It is.
Which signals a pretty significant shift for CZ, for the entire Binance ecosystem.
I think you're right.
Suggesting that they're seeing the potential for convergence.
Between all these things.
Yeah, all these emerging technologies. And I think the implications for those industries could be huge, especially with the kind of resources that a family office like YZi Labs can bring to the table.
Makes you wonder, what's the motivation for this big shift? What is the bigger picture here?
Well, if we look at CZ's recent statements, he's been emphasizing impact investing.
Okay.
Moving away from purely profit-driven ventures and more towards projects that have a positive social or environmental impact.
So it's not just about making money.
Right.
It's about making a difference.
Exactly.
Which actually kind of goes along with what he's been doing with that whole Giggle Academy thing, right?
It does.
Making education more accessible. So could YZi Labs be a vehicle for pushing those impacts goals forward through investments?
It's definitely a possibility, and we can't overlook the potential for YZi Labs to collaborate with or even invest in projects connected to Giggle Academy.
Wow.
Creating this fascinating feedback loop where education and investment fuel innovation in a more holistic way.
Really interesting point. So we've got CZ back, family office structure, focus on impact investing, and this potential link to his educational platform. It's a lot.
Lots of moving pieces.
Yeah, and it seems like CZ is thinking big.
Definitely.
But what does it all mean for the 250 projects that were already under that Binance Labs umbrella?
Yeah.
Are they just left behind in this new venture?
That's the big question, right? Thankfully, it seems like those projects aren't being abandoned.
Oh, good.
YZi Labs has stated their intention to continue supporting their existing portfolio.
Right.
And they're even revamping their incubation program for startups.
So that's good news for the people who are already involved in those projects.
It is.
It signals that commitment to nurturing that existing crypto ecosystem.
Yeah.
While also branching out into those new frontiers.
And that revamped incubation program is particularly interesting, I think.
How so?
Well, it suggests that YZi Labs is actively seeking to cultivate the next generation of innovators.
Okay.
Not just within crypto, but across AI, Web3, and biotech. Yeah, so this could be a really exciting development for those CoinTalk podcast viewers who are entrepreneurs who are interested in getting involved in these burgeoning fields.
Absolutely. So we covered a lot of ground here, like just the basics of what a family office is.
We did.
The implications of YZi Labs and this whole expanded focus.
For sure.
But this is just the beginning, right?
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
Welcome back to the CoinTalk podcast, everyone. We're continuing our deep dive into YZi Labs.
You know, before we get into the specifics of like their investment focus and all that,
Right.
I think it's worth kind of highlighting the potential ripple effect this could have
Yeah.
on the wider crypto landscape. Like, what does CZ making this move really signal to the industry? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you have to remember, CZ isn't just some random investor.
Right.
I mean, he built Binance
Yeah.
into a global powerhouse in the crypto world.
It's true.
So when he makes a move like this, people pay attention. It definitely sends a signal.
Like, is he saying crypto's over? Or is he saying...
I don't think he's saying it's over.
Okay.
It's more like, hey, the future is bigger than just crypto.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's not abandoning it.
Right.
He's still holding on to those connections.
The YZi Labs and that existing portfolio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this so intriguing.
Totally.
He's acknowledging these other emerging technologies, AI, biotech, Web3, but he's also recognizing that blockchain technology still plays a huge role.
So it's not an either or.
It's not either or. It's more like
They're
all connected in some way.
Yeah, interesting.
And I think for those CoinTalk podcast viewers out there who are like, what does this have to do with me?
Right.
It's like potentially a lot.
Potentially a lot.
Because if CZ is right and these sectors are converging, understanding how they relate to each other is going to be crucial for anyone who wants to be a part of this next wave of innovation.
That's a good point.
And for those who are already invested in crypto or looking to get involved, paying attention to YZi Labs investments, I think could provide some valuable insights into where things are headed.
Okay, so we've got CZ back in the game.
He's back.
He's brought Ella Zhang on board.
Power duo.
And they're setting their sights beyond just crypto.
Yeah.
So what about the specifics? What might these impact investments actually look like?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is.
And to be honest, we don't have all the answers yet.
Of course.
But we can make some educated guesses based on what we know about CZ, his past statements, and those sectors that YZi Labs is targeting.
Okay, let's speculate a little bit.
Let's put on our speculation hats.
So let's say AI. What kind of impact-driven projects could they be looking at there?
Well, in the field of AI, there's a lot of talk about using the technology for social good.
Okay.
So think about things like developing AI-powered tools to address climate change.
That's a big one.
To improve healthcare outcome, maybe in underserved communities, create more personalized and accessible education experiences, those kinds of things.
Those are some big goals, and they seem to really fit with CZ's vision.
They do.
Of like making a difference.
Yeah, but AI can also be a controversial field.
That's true.
You know, there's concerns about bias, job displacement, even misuse of the technology.
For sure.
And I think that's where the family office structure of YZi Labs becomes interesting.
Oh, how so?
Because unlike a traditional VC firm, which is often beholden to outside investors and, you know, focused on financial returns.
Got to make that money.
A family office has a bit more flexibility.
Sure.
They can prioritize investments that align with their values.
Interesting.
Even if they take longer to generate profits.
Got it.
Or if they involve higher risks.
So it gives them more freedom in a way.
Exactly.
To pursue things that other investors might not.
Exactly.
Okay, so AI aside, what about biotech? What can we see there?
Biotech is another field that's ripe with potential.
Okay.
You know, for social good. So YZi Labs could be looking at companies developing innovative therapies for rare diseases.
Wow.
Creating affordable diagnostic tools for maybe developing countries.
Okay.
Or even exploring new ways to utilize CRISPR technology for sustainable agriculture.
Very cool.
So lots of potential there.
It really does open up a whole new way of looking at things.
It does.
Now, what about Web3? That's a bit closer to home.
Yeah, for our CoinTalk podcast world, right?
Exactly.
Well, Web3 is all about decentralization, transparency, empowering users.
Right.
So YZi Labs might be looking at projects that leverage blockchain technology to create more equitable financial systems.
Okay.
Give individuals greater control over their data, their online identities.
Got it.
Or even facilitate the creation of decentralized governance models.
So AI tackling climate change, healthcare disparities, biotech developing those life-saving therapies, sustainable agricultural practices, and Web3 revolutionizing financial systems and data ownership.
That's a lot.
It sounds like there's a lot of potential here.
There is. There's no shortage of potential.
For YZi Labs to really make an impact?
Exactly. And I think that's what's so exciting about this development. It's not just about making money anymore.
Yeah.
It's about using that capital to solve real-world problems.
And create a better future.
Exactly.
Okay, but let's be real. CZ has had his fair share of controversies.
Yes.
Stepping down from Binance, legal issues.
Right.
Some people might be a little skeptical of what his motives are here.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
It's always important to, be a little critical, approach these things with a critical eye.
Of course.
But let's not forget that CZ is a builder.
That's true.
He's always pushing the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And with YZi Labs, he has the potential to bring that same level of innovation to the world of impact investing.
It's a bold move for sure.
It is.
We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds.
We will.
But one thing's for certain, CZ is back.
He's back.
And he's making a statement.
Absolutely. And for our CoinTalk podcast viewers, this is something to watch.
Pay attention.
Whether you're a crypto investor, an entrepreneur, or just someone who's curious about the future, YZi Labs' journey could offer some very valuable insights.
Now, we've talked a lot about the potential positive impacts
I have.
of YZi Labs, but are there any potential downsides?
That's a good question.
Or risks associated with this whole thing? That's a great question, and one we should definitely consider. Like, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of something new and shiny.
It is, yeah.
But it's important to be, like, realistic.
Right.
Look at both sides. So any thoughts on potential risks?
Of course, while the potential upside is certainly intriguing, there are some inherent risks and challenges associated with this type of approach.
Like what?
Well, for starters, impact investing is still a relatively new field, and there's no guarantee that these investments will generate the kind of returns that traditional investors might be used to.
Like patience is key.
Patience and a long-term perspective would be key.
Okay, so beyond just like the financial side of things, what other risks should we be thinking about?
Even with the best intentions, measuring the actual impact of these investments can be tricky.
Oh, interesting.
There's always that risk of impact washing.
Impact washing.
Where companies might exaggerate their social or environmental contributions for marketing.
So they look good.
Exactly.
But they're not actually...
not really walking the walk.
CoinTalk podcast viewers, if you're thinking about getting into impact investing, this is something to be really aware of.
Definitely something to keep in mind. Do your due diligence.
Yeah. What else?
Well, we can't overlook the potential for conflicts of interest.
Okay, yeah, CZ being involved in both.
Exactly. CZ's involvement in both YZi Labs and Binance could raise some questions.
Yeah, is it really about impact?
Right. Are the decisions being made solely on the basis of impact? Or is there some self-dealing involved?
So how YZi Labs navigates that is going to be really important.
It will be for their credibility.
Yeah, for maintaining trust.
Especially within the crypto community and the wider investment world.
Transparency is going to be key.
Absolutely, showing that their actions match their mission.
Okay, anything else?
I think there's also the broader question of whether impact investing can truly address these big systemic issues.
Like climate change, poverty.
Exactly. Some critics argue it's just a band-aid solution.
It doesn't get to the root of the problem.
Exactly. It doesn't address the root causes.
So it's one tool.
It is one tool in a larger toolbox.
Not the be-all, end-all solution.
Right. Not a silver bullet, but I think it can definitely play a role, especially when it's combined with other efforts.
Policy changes, tech advancements.
Grassroots activism, all of those things.
For our CoinTalk podcast community, this is an ongoing conversation.
It is.
Do your research.
Engage with different perspectives.
Yeah. What do you think about impact investing?
What are the potentials? What are the limitations?
That's what we try to do here at CoinTalk Podcast.
We do.
Give you the information, the context.
The tools.
To make those decisions for yourself.
Right.
And navigate the crazy world of crypto and beyond.
It's a wild world out there.
It is. It is. Before we wrap up, I want to go back to something you said earlier.
Yeah.
About CZ being a builder.
Yeah.
Because I think that's key to understanding all of this.
I think so too. He's not content to just sit back,
Right.
maintain the status quo. He wants to create, innovate.
Push the boundaries?
Exactly. Leave his mark on the world.
And this could be his biggest project yet.
It really could be.
It's quite the journey.
It is.
From crypto exchanges to this.
Yeah. Aiming to make a global impact with a diversified portfolio.
Spanning some of the most cutting-edge fields.
Potentially world-changing stuff.
So CoinTalk podcast viewers, what do you think?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
About CZ's return, about YZi Labs.
Is this a positive development
For crypto.
for the world?
Let us know in the comments below.
And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends.
We are diving deep into all things crypto.
So you don't have to.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Thanks, everyone.
into the world of YZi Labs.
It's a story that's still unfolding, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it.
Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring.
And remember,
The future is what we make it.